Sweet.
What's up, and welcome to the TMZ Sports live stream. I'm Edward Lewis. This is Lucas Widman. As always, coming to you from the TMZ Newsroom with everybody here, and we got a big show for you today and a big guest, too.
Yes, we're going to start the show. We have an interview that we have to get to, but among topics that we're going to discuss today, the shocking news in the NFL, 7-year vet Doug Martin tragically passing away.
Yeah, we'll get you some of those details that we know about all that. And then LeBron James, we broke the story a couple weeks ago. He was sued over the second decision when a fan claimed that he had been duped by LeBron basically teasing a retirement. Well, now that case has had a significant update, and we'll kind of get into that. But first.
And as for our guest, we are going to introduce him right now because he is in with us. And this is a big one for me. I'm going to take you down memory lane real quick. I was a second grader, and there was a tour that was announced, and tickets were on sale. My sister got tickets. My teacher got tickets, but I wasn't allowed to go because I wasn't old enough. And now, this is a special moment for me because I'm now 2 for 5 with one of my favorite groups of all time. This is NSYNC band member Joey Fatone, who is joining us to talk about an appearance that he made. This is all going to make sense as to why he is on TMZ Sports right now.
Why am I on here? Why?
Bear with us.
I don't have an athletic bone in my body. Why am I on here?
Well, you tell us, Joey, because we're watching Sunday Night Football, and all of a sudden, things pop up on social media of you making a very special appearance for those in attendance. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I was over at the 49ers game, and they had a 90s night. And, of course, I guess I feel like I'm the epitome of the 90s, if you will. But, yeah, you know, they actually asked me to come on out and do a 90s medley. So I did a whole bunch of, like, a little bit of NSYNC, a little bit of Green Day, just a couple of seconds of different songs. And it was great. You know, honestly, I didn't really think the audience was going to perceive it like it did. And everybody was just singing along and having a great time. I think now with the generation and the age, we're at the right age where people are watching the games are now my age. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's been fun. It's been great.
Now, you bring up the fact that you didn't just do some NSYNC songs, but, you know, Green Day as well. What is it like to get to perform these songs from other artists, other groups, and really get everyone involved like that?
You know, I love doing stuff like that. You know, I know a lot of artists have their, you know, their own songs or their own things, and I want to be a writer, I want to be an artist. But the thing is obviously the way we became artists and writers and all that kind of stuff is from listening to other people. So for me, it's almost like an homage to them, and it gets people going. I mean, you know, when you have hits like This Is How We Do It or Poison and stuff like that, or you know, Green Day or any of that kind of stuff, you hear that stuff and it's just like, it just brings you back. That's the thing about it. I'm not trying to emulate any of the artists. I'm just trying to sing the song so you guys sing along as well. And I think that's what's been a fun thing for me. And those are the kind of things that I've been doing now, where I have all these different shows and I'm doing stuff with AJ from Backstreet Boys as well, where we're having this show and we've been going on tour for a little bit, which has been great. Again, it's kind of like this nostalgia. But interesting enough, coming back to sports, you know, for me, I've always been a big fan of sports. I'm not the hugest, you know, as far as what exactly is players and everything else. But going to a live game, there is absolutely nothing like it. If people that have ever or have never been to a live game and always just watch sports on TV, I think it's just the most amazing thing to be there live in the action when it's happening.
That brings me into my next question, because I know you have performed this at, you know, Epcot, and you're in Myrtle Beach. What is the NFL atmosphere like? Because it's crazy fans. You're in a massive stadium. Just kind of walk us through what that experience is all about.
Well, the interesting thing is again, like I said, you're dealing with completely all walks of life, all ages. So how do you know, get them, you know, to watch what you're doing, and especially if it's a halftime show as well, where most people are like, I got to go to the bathroom, I got to go eat, I'm going to go do this, do that. So, you know, to keep them captivated. And I think that was the most interesting thing to listen to when, at first, you know, I'll be honest, when I first started coming out with the song, we did the song Pop from NSYNC, and people were kind of like, oh, this is okay. But then as the songs keep going, like I said, and you're starting to hit, you know, Bye, 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 and I Want It That Way. And, you know, it's just amazing thing that people just get amped up and just love the songs. And it reverts again back to all these people that when they first saw, you know, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, like yourself, you said you saw us or heard about us in second grade. Thanks for telling me how old I am. I appreciate it.
Well, to make you feel old again, in 4th grade at our talent show, I did my own choreography to Pop.
Heck yes. And nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's always an amazing thing how music and sports always kind of go hand in hand. You know, I love it.
I tell people that all the time. So Joey, I hate to bring this up, but word around
Yeah, you're
town
allowed to.
is you're a New York Giants fan.
I know, and I saw the game last time. They were
Do you
so
want
close.
do you want to touch up on this at all? Do you
don't
think it's
wanna
time for a
talk
new
about it.
kicker?
No, I really
Anything?
don't want to talk about it that much. All I want to say is we were watching the game actually before I was going to perform, and we were watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're winning. That's great. And then we left, and then when I came back, they lost. And I went, what just happened? And I don't like. Yeah, you know what? We'll skip that.
Well, so this past weekend aside, how do you feel about Jackson Dart? Seems like there's a bit of hope with the franchise now. And Scadaboo, he's awesome. Overall, outside of the loss to the Broncos, are you feeling good?
I'm feeling good. You never know. We'll see. I'm excited. We're I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. That's the thing. Always when people go, we won. No, we didn't win. They did. They did the effort. I love when my Chris does it all the time. Chris is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And he's always like, we won. And yes, I know, but I have to bust his chops and go, no, we didn't win. They did. You cheered them on, bro. You were not on the field. I get it. But it's one of those things. You never know. I'm hoping for him. I'm crossing my fingers.
And you talk about the intersection of sports and music. The biggest storyline that embodies that right now is Bad Bunny at the halftime show. What do you think about him getting the big stage at the Super Bowl this year?
You know what? I embrace it. I think it's great. Honestly, I really do. I know people have different sides of it and all that kind of stuff, but I think every year for me, I think they should change it though. Every year, I think there should be some sort of nobody's crying and complaining that pop music ain't out there right now. Why isn't a boy band out there? And you know what I'm saying? It's just. I think it's just different styles, different times, different years. So this year is Bad Bunny year. Maybe next year, who knows?
After doing the halftime last night, do you have advice for Bad Bunny? I know it's a little bit smaller scale, but same
fun.
Stadium,
I mean, we did the halftime show. NSYNC did with Aerosmith and Mary J. Blige and Nelly and stuff. So it's a fun ride. I would tell him just enjoy it and embrace it because it does go by so fast. All the preparation, all the rehearsals, everything. It just boils down to those few minutes, not a whole lot of time, and it's just one big blast to see how much performance you can do to wow everybody.
Speaking of that, would you guys be willing? Would you think NSYNC would be possibly willing to do a halftime show down the road again? Is that in the cards?
If there's ever a conversation just like the conversation that hasn't happened yet, is the five of us going back together, if we're ever going on tour, what the heck are we doing? It's that $1 million question. And hopefully one day we'll be able to get together. I mean, for me, I'm sick and tired of people asking me in the sense of I'm down to do it. Because people are like, are you going to do it? I said, I don't know. There's 4 of the guys that have that conversation. So it's almost like, just get the head out of their butts and figure it out. But, really, honestly, it's like one of those things where everybody has their individual stuff. I mean, Justin literally just got off tour. So would it be fair to him to call him up and go, yo, bro, you want to go on tour right now? You just got off tour. It'd be a great idea. Let's do it. That's I think the problem. Give people space, give people time, and I think it will come around. Again, it's just one of those things where the 5 of us have to get together, have that conversation, and go, are we going to do it? Yes or no? And what does that look like? But I will tell everyone right now, we have not had the conversation.
I got one more about NSYNC and going back as a group.
No worries.
We reported this dozens of times now that Backstreet Boys wanted to do a golf matchup with NSYNC. Have you seen or heard any headway in that front at all?
No, we've heard about it. And you know what? It's so funny because a few of us, like even AJ, like I said, me and AJ we do talk a lot. And we've had conversations about, doing things together. And believe it or not, I know some of the guys are pretty good at golfing, especially with Backstreet Boys on that side. So if there was Backstreet against NSYNC, Justin's really good. Chris is really good. Now, I'm not sure about JC, but JC can pick up things fairly quickly. I am absolutely horrible. I see what's going on right now. I'm trying to hit the ball. I actually go there for fun. You can see how Justin's face is very serious. I am not. I like to drink and drive the golf cart. But yeah, it's one of those things where, it'd be fun. Again, we've done charity events, though. We've done basketball charity events back in the day, actually, overseas, where we would have this charity event where Backstreet and us were playing on each other's teams at one point. We actually, I believe it was AJ that was on our team and Lance was on Backstreet Boys team. And we did like a charity event, basketball. That'd be another thing we could do too, which would be fun.
I mean, I won't ask you any more questions about NSYNC, which, kind of leading into what I was going to talk about is we asked our social media accounts, our sports and the main TMZ account, if they had any questions for you to be featured on the live stream. A lot of them were NSYNC related. A lot of them were.
No worries.
We're asking about when you guys are reuniting, but we'll spare you of that. But
I just answered it.
Yeah, we'll spare you of that. So, but MJ Wilson asked, who do you think is the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
Right now? I'm not sure. You know what? That's a tough one. To be honest with you. I'm hearing people yell. What'd you say, Constantine?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones yelled out.
And that's
My boy, me. Obviously, we're doing a show right here. So remember, Constantine, come here. Stick your head in here for a second. Constantine, Morales, Rock of Ages,
Dude.
Idol.
What is up?
We're doing a show out here, so that's why we're hanging out. But
awesome.
who is it? Who'd you say?
Daniel Jones. That's my guy. I was his only fan in New York, and now I'm happy for him.
That's
Dude
amazing.
is the MVP, and Jackson Dart is the truth.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
I was trying to get that out of Joey. He wouldn't even say that himself.
Hey, I mean,
You know, I try to be politically correct with a lot of this because the minute I say one team or one person, they're like, "What about this one?" I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. He said it.
Hey, no, I mean, but Daniel Jones, you know, funny, a year ago, nobody would be thinking that somebody would say that Daniel Jones has the case for the best quarterback in the NFL, but sure enough, he does.
It's interesting to say, but we'll see how that goes, right?
And then 3ID asked, what is something that irritated you the most when you were on tour with NSYNC, but that you laugh about now?
Oh gosh, irritated the most. Chris. No, you know what? You know, it's so funny. We were so young. Nothing. Honestly, it was like I was 17 all the way up until what, 23, 24 years old, literally touring the world, having our college years. And nothing really bothered me personally. I'm very easygoing, very happy, lucky kind of guy. And I lead sometimes, but there are times I do go with the flow. So for me, you know, it's fun, especially with ensemble things. You know, this is fun doing these things by myself or doing Joey Fatone and friends. But like I said, I love grabbing, you know, other artists like Constantine and other people to come in and do these things because again, it's so much fun for me. It's not all about me, is what I think of it sometimes, and I like to share the stage and the wealth with everybody else.
Well, awesome.
Joey, I just have two more questions. And you talk about boy bands right now, not really a big thing. And yeah, I'm super into music. And obviously, boy bands right now, it seems Korea is absolutely taking over in that aspect, but then also in Europe as well. Is it time for America to get back in on it? Is it time for America to try to get another boy group?
Well, you're seeing that right now, I believe. You got, you know, Build the Band that just came out, that was out on Netflix, and they have all these different groups that are out there, Frequency and a couple other groups, which is great, and they're talented as heck, and they're amazing. It's a different generation of the actually girl and boy groups, but they're talented. They can sing their butts off, no doubt about it. If you've never seen the show on Netflix, Build a Band, it's really, really good. Even though I'm promoting it for no reason and I'm not even in the show, but it's a great show. But yeah, you know what? The K-pop with, you know, even K-pop Demon Hunters that just came out is really huge, and the music is great. You can't deny pop music when it's like that. It's pop culture. It's fun. It's campy sometimes, and I think the K-pop culture has really taken America by storm. They're just infatuated, which is pretty amazing. And I'm sure there's going to be some time, just like anything else, it'll come back around again. You will start to see, I'm sure, other boy bands or other stuff. I mean, you see even Backstreet right now, again on tour doing the Sphere. You got new kids that have been on tour over a residency in Vegas as well a few times. You see 98 Degrees going out. So it's been pretty cool, except there's only one group that hasn't gone out yet.
Now, my last question is, you know, music, acting, theater, TV hosting. What's next for Joey Fatone?
More shows actually with AJ from Backstreet. Me and myself, me and him are doing that. I actually have a documentary on HBO. It's not picked up yet. It is picked up. I'm sorry. It's going to be probably coming out either December, January. We're trying to get all the interviews, but it's a documentary for HBO Max about actually boy bands. I've been interviewing everybody from, you know, from Nick Lachey to, you know, even one of my boy band mates, some of the guys from Ode Town. So it's going to be kind of an interesting take on documentaries and what it's about, and it's going to be interesting. I don't want to say too much about it, but it is going to be on HBO Max, hopefully January, December, maybe a little bit later, just depending on how much more we have to shoot because we're still trying to grab all these guys together. And then me and AJ, like I said, are going to be on tour again. We're going to be doing a couple more shows. Definitely one in February. We're starting to book some more shows now. Once he's done with the Sphere, we're going to come back and do some more stuff as well.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Joey. We really appreciate it.
Joey,
hopefully
thank you
maybe
so
more
much.
shows, maybe more half times.
Hey,
there you go.
Sounds good.
Never know.
Thank you so much, Joey. You're the best.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
That's awesome. Joey Fatone's awesome.
He's the man.
It's great stuff.
Lucas, you probably knew who the other guy was. Does anybody else?
Yeah, Constantine. He was on American Idol.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hello.
Yeah, from like way back. in the
Rock-
day.
Oh,
Yes.
that was him?
He has an
Rock of
incredible
Ages
voice.
on Broadway. Like,
Yeah.
he's huge on Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like
And
one of
he's
the
a
OG
big, he's a big
American
Giants
Idol
and
Yeah.
Yankees
guys.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
remember
season was he on?
like,
Ooh, like
2 or 3, right? Like I
Yeah,
remember my
very
mom
early
like,
when people were still watching it like
Yeah.
religiously. He
Yeah, it was like must-see TV,
A
yeah.
superstar, and then he got eliminated, and people were like, "I guess we do have to vote. I guess that matters."
I do remember that was like the OG American Idol star. That's very cool. That was cool, Steve.
That's cool. That was like perfect.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get Mojo on here, so we'll be good to do the show here in a little bit.
the Joe.
Okay, Lucas, do you just want to intro and then kick it to me with all the details of Dougie?
Don Joey said he was a Giants fan, so I would assume that's kind of New York sports. Only one that I wouldn't be sure about is baseball.
What was the question?
Oh, she was just saying, I wonder what Joey's teams are for.
Oh yeah.
The only reason I knew he was a Giants fan is because he made a brief cameo in that My Big
about
Fat
Charles.
Chiefs Wedding.
Oh,
You remember before
yes.
week 1, they did that spoof, and he's like, "I'm not doing this. I'm a Giants fan."
Against the ASU game.
Oh,
You guys could say hi to Mojo.
did he?
Mojo.
Chat Mojo is
videos.
back in.
He's got video.
Can't hear you, Mojo.
Mojo, we can't hear you.
Mojo, we can't hear you.
Mojo, you got to turn up your volume.
Check.
Mojo,
check,
we can
check.
hear you.
There we
Okay,
go.
okay, Mojo, I got
You
you.
guys asked Joey Fatone about the party pod or what?
Oh, man.
Well, we
because-
haven't broken that yet.
We got some stories together for the party pod, me and old Joey. He lives out here in Orlando too.
Oh,
Just
okay.
saying.
Maybe a future guest for the party pod.
The party pod is
Future host.
popping.
Edward's not too fond of the party pod right now.
Well, Ed doesn't party.
I'm in
and
a-
also Ed had
I
a
don't
very
party.
lousy
I
weekend,
don't
which
party.
I can't wait to
What?
talk about. some
my
of the
team
segments
rolled
today.
44-22 or whatever the hell it was. I'm cool. you know?
Don, if you want Mojo to drop the party pod secrets, you're gonna have to tune into the party pod when that gets launched.
I hear.
Is everyone wearing sweaters of their teams? Is this sweater
it's
day? What
Victory
is
Monday.
this?
It is Victory Monday.
I can't show favoritism in the office.
You didn't.
Well, you
part
actually
of
have a rare Victory Monday.
right. It's one of the 3 Sundays a year that Browns.
Charles should
Hey,
be
guess what?
part
You
of
know
the
what?
party pod.
Halfway through the third quarter, Jim's like, "Hey, can we throw F1 on?" I'm like, "I don't get this really often, man. Like, are we really going to
throw
cut
F1
away?" So I didn't even get to see Quinn get in under center for the Dolphins. But
Win.
Quinn
Oh,
Ewers?
Quinn Ewers.
Oh, I didn't even see that either.
Yeah, I mean, after Tua turned the ball over, turned it over 3 times.
I kind of tuned out of that game when it was 30 to something in
Yeah,
the
it was
fourth quarter.
not good, but
It's a big weekend for me, man. My 2 former NFL teams played each other, and this is their big matchup every year to see who's going to make me proud and who's going to let me down as the former greatest player to ever play for either program.
Right.
the Mojo
It's a
Bowl.
good week. It's a good week for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
the guy
wow.
you gave $47 million to finally did something. That's pretty cool, huh? I guess we'll talk about that later, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ed, I teased it. You just gave them the whole thing.
Why? They still don't know. How does anybody know?
If they follow the show, 2 words knows. They know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 words.
I
2
hope
words
you've
knows
been
what's up.
preparing because you're going to get annihilated during that segment.
Let's
Ed.
go. You know, it is
That's
what
how
it
you
is.
tease the segment because you were going to get absolutely mollywopped when we get there.
The guy that you paid to get to the quarterback actually got to the quarterback.
Cool counter, man.
Hey, Mojo,
Sure, we'll
you
get
know who
to
you
it.
should be proud of from last weekend or this past weekend? Charles.
I'm scared to hear the answer. What is it?
Charles rushing the field. The ASU won, and he rushed the
He rushed the field?
And he has
Charles
video.
rushed the field?
He rushed the field.
Isn't that like for students?
Stretch
Did
ahead
they?
of time.
Did
His
they?
knees hurt.
Did they
His
rest?
knees hurt today
Stretch ahead of time. I was good.
All right.
Hopped over the wall and the whole thing.
against Texas Tech.
Heck yeah.
Dang, hopped the
Big
wall
win.
and ran the
Big
field.
win.
I mean,
I just don't see how he jumped over that wall, man. I'm still trying to
Ask
figure
him if
that
he
out.
did anything crazy on the
It's
field.
called, actually, you should try it. It's called being in shape, Keith.
I'm in
good
shape.
Lord.
Oh my
No, you're in A shape.
Oh my goodness.
I've been working out.
Oh my Lord.
Don the
Yoga?
Watcher said you got molly whopped.
Oh my
yoga.
goodness.
This guy, yo.
Hot yoga. That's all I'm trying to say.
Holy smokes.
I'm a big
gosh.
subscriber of hot yoga. I'm with that one.
I'm into cool yoga.
All right, you guys ready to
that
start with
makes-
the
room
serious
temperature
one?
yoga.
What are you?
Into non-yoga.
75-degree yoga.
Lucas, emails. Okay.
I'm
Stay right here.
going right into you.
Yeah.
You going right this one?
Right into it. So it's going to be a quick, just
Yeah.
quick intro and then. Welcome to TMZ Sports. Lucas here. We're going to kick things off with some devastating news in the NFL. Doug Martin has passed away at just 36 years old. Doug Martin was beloved in the NFL during his 7 seasons in the league, mostly for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But Ed, as more time goes on, we're getting more details on this. What's going on with it?
Yeah, according to the Oakland Police Department, just after 4:15 in the morning on Saturday, they responded to a burglary at a residence in Oakland, California. The suspect, they say, gave them kind of a brief scuffle while they were trying to detain him. And it was later revealed that that suspect was Doug Martin. Now the Oakland Police Department says once they put him into custody, he became unresponsive. And after they transported him to a hospital for further treatment, he was pronounced dead. So I have been on the phone for hours this morning trying to get anything I could on this and what happened. And frankly, we are not getting a whole lot. The one nugget of information I was able to get was the house, or there is a house on this street that is associated with the Martins. It appears to be one of his grandparents' homes is on this street. So I don't know what that means. I don't know whether the house was involved. I don't know whether Doug was in that house or around that house or near that house, but I do know that he has a tie to this street somehow. But everything else, I spoke with one source, a high-ranking source in the Alameda County, and they told me the Oakland Police Department has a hold on all of this stuff, releasing it publicly. They've only released so far that they want the family. The family is asking for privacy at this time, so who knows when we'll get a little bit more information, but as of right now, that's what we got.
Now, Doug Martin, he was a star at Boise State, went into the first round back in the draft, and one of those losses that just is so shocking. You saw the outpour of love and support on social media throughout the day on Sunday. Mojo, just as someone who knows what that football fraternity is like, what is this loss like for the entire sport?
I mean, I never got to know Doug, unfortunately, but you do kind of feel it just from playing the sport at one point, right? At any point. I mean, this guy was a beast. I mean, you talked about him at Boise State, but at Tampa Bay, I mean, he was a 2-time Pro Bowler. Pro Bowler his first year in the league. I think he had over 1,400 yards rushing as a rookie, which is crazy to say. I mean, that dude could ball. That was actually my first year moving out to Florida with WWE. So, I mean, we would go see him play, man, and this dude could just absolutely ball. You hear about what happened, and there's so many questions, right? Almost shades of the Mark Sanchez thing with curiosity and just confusion overall right now. But you wonder what really went down, what the tie-in was to the family, and how this happened. But man, until we have that, all I can talk about right now is that this guy was just such a sensational player and a great teammate. So I don't even know what to say right now.
Right, and we'll continue to get more information as the days go on. Stay tuned to TMZ Sports. We broke the unfortunate news on Sunday, and as we get more, you will know more as well. But as of right now, rest in peace, Doug Martin, 36 years old.
30s. Yeah.
It's my age.
36 years old.
Yeah, the muscle hamster, man. I mean, if you didn't know who Doug Martin was, you knew the muscle hamster.
He didn't love that nickname.
He was this ball of muscle that ran over everybody. I know he didn't like the nickname, but that was who he was. That was why fans loved him. Yeah, it was crazy. Who knows what happened though, man? Like I said, I've been on the phone all day long, and it appears that he might have been the suspect of a burglary and might have been in some kind of quarrel with cops, and they might have done something that injured him. But right now, we just don't know.
It seems like a lot of most of the comments and stuff on whether it's our stream or on the website / Instagram, everything is just everybody is just so confused with all the facts coming out right now that there's so much information, there's so little information coming out that nobody's really able to make a even an assumption of what
Right.
happened, really.
Right.
A lot of people are saying that once the body cam footage, like hopefully for that type of stuff gets released, that we can determine what the brief struggle was, you know. But other than that, everybody is just.
I will say too that I've been doing this job a long time now and dealing with cops for a long time, and the Oakland Police Department is one of the I want to say like most buttoned up in terms of like getting public information out of that department is so difficult. Like no matter how many records requests you put in, and how many times you follow up, it's not a lot that comes out of that from any case, let alone a case that potentially involved some kind of officer and suspect altercation. So we'll see.
That's a guy that made a lot of money in his career too. I mean, I believe I'm looking right here. He signed a 5-year, $35.75 million contract at one point, and you know, obviously played briefly with the Raiders after that. I mean, burglary. You know what I mean? Like, you hate to see when players get into tough straits after making so much money in the league. I'm not saying any of this happened because we don't know, but anytime you hear those two things together, it just, you know, breaks your heart.
Yeah.
People were asking about the where's the comment at? So regarding the, sorry, I cannot find it. Let me look if it was on my phone. But there was a good question that somebody had about this. So when the news broke, was it initially also released that it was a struggle with people were asking if when that news broke, was it just that he had passed away, or did they do anything with touching with the struggle, or was that something that came out later?
The struggle was what came out later, but I know when we were initially kind of tipped off about it, there was something that was involved some kind of officer and suspect kind of confrontation, basically. And then it came out later that the whole thing about a potential burglary and this, that, and the other. So, yeah. That was known pretty quickly that he was involved in some kind of, or apparently involved in some kind of incident with.
And then we have
police.
some Pammy asking, what is like the process for you, like going into like call and get in contact with these like people to kind of get this information?
Like almost everything in I guess public is public record. You know what I mean? A lot of the employees of state and your elected officials even as normal average Joes, you can go and request a lot of stuff. We have a little bit easier time through media relations members and public information officers, but I mean, a lot of it is all Freedom of Information Act and requests like that. So it's just a matter of what they're willing to release, what county laws are, what state laws are, what federal laws are, what they're allowed to release. Some counties, we've talked about this on the show before, some counties will release it to you right away. I know in Florida, you can get body cam right away. And in California, it's very difficult sometimes it never comes out. So yeah. There's a lot of different avenues, but generally anything that happens with police and stuff like that in courts is public record, and you can get a hold of it if you try hard enough.
Yeah, well, hopefully this case, more stuff gets released on it soon, because this is just like such a oddball case.
Mojo's right. It's very similar to the Mark Sanchez case, where it's just like, what? How? Mm-hmm. What? It's just
36 years old.
Crazy details.
All right, we're gonna lighten up the mood a little bit here. We'll do the Chiefs next. I'm gonna come in with Patrick Mahomes dropping F-bombs on the broadcast to draw them offsides.
Okay.
You guys can have some fun with that. And then obviously Rashee Rice returns. That's just photos, video, but comes back 6 games out, scores 2 touchdowns. And then we can wrap the whole thing up with Taylor and Travis going out to dinner after the game to celebrate the debut.
Cool.
So the only sound is coming in.
Okay.
And then you guys can.
Okay, so we don't do anything about the State Farm joke.
State Farm.
We can talk about it, but not actually go to it.
Did he do it in the post-game presser?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You can bring it up in there.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah,
I'll just mention
it,
it, but I won't. Yeah,
exactly. It's coming out of that sound, so you could exactly.
And this is welcome back or moving on?
This will be moving on.
Okay.
So the sound will be first to break up
okay.
the obit.
Okay, cool.
Okay, here comes Patrick's sound.
For it on their own 40 on 4th and a foot. Try to draw him offside. Sorry. Mahomes says, Coach, it doesn't
there they go.
work.
They
He
do
was
go for it.
faking it.
There they
He
go.
got you.
You had given up on that one. You thought for sure it was a draw, didn't you?
Andy Reid.
Draw him offside.
Unbelievable. Pete Carroll even knows this. We're going to make you think we're trying to draw you off sides, and then we're going to go ahead and take a downward punt. And then he goes, and Mahomes goes, oh, it never works. It never stinking works.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Let me just try it again. Boom, first down.
Yes, Patrick Mahomes beat the Raiders with his arm, legs, and potty mouth. You saw it there. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo did a great job explaining it. He actually tried to lull the defense into sleep by yelling to his sideline, "This never works," and then quickly snapping the ball and getting the first down. The Raiders, Lucas, absolutely were abused by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs all game long. In addition to kind of falling for this little trickery, they lost 31-0, and even this fake plays were working against them. Did you get a chance to catch this game at all?
Yes, I did. And mind you, when this happened, it was only 7-0. And you have to think this maybe took the wind out of the sails for the Raiders, because after this, I mean, Patrick even said, look, I got my acting skills from doing the State Farm commercials. And it's like, that's really what did it for us. But yeah, the Chiefs have been struggling a bit this season, but yeah, the 31-0 win. And that play in particular, you know, it was the 7th play of a drive, ultimately ended up being a 17-play drive. It was a touchdown to Hollywood Brown. And then, yeah, the Raiders never scored. And of course, this was also a game that we saw Rashee Rice come back from his suspension. And that was a bit of a weird reaction on social media, because you saw the Chiefs were praising him and welcoming him back with open arms. And other people were saying, well, let's not forget why he was off the field for the first 6 weeks of the season. But all that being said, the Chiefs are back to their winning ways. We'll see if it continues. And it's just one of those things where you think they're down and out. You might want to count them out, and the Chiefs remind you who they are.
And of course, they had their biggest fan, or I guess Travis Kelce's biggest fan, in attendance. Taylor Swift was at the game for, well, I guess this is like the 5th time this season, or maybe 4th time this season. She was not shown on the broadcast. We're still trying to figure out why she went from being the most popular and in-your-face Chiefs fan to now kind of being in the background of the luxury boxes. But she was nonetheless there, and afterwards, she and Travis Kelce had a bunch of friends that they took to his steakhouse, 1587 Prime. It just opened up a few weeks ago, and we're not too sure what they ate, but if you could look at the kind of the spread on the table, it looked like a big meal and maybe some drinks, and a well-celebrated win once again for Kelce and Taylor.
Speaking of drinks, don't forget they have their own signature cocktails. So I'm sure when they're ordering, they're like, I'll take the me. Travis is like, I'll have the Travis or the Big Yeti, whatever they call it. But maybe this is why he decided to get into the restaurant business to begin with, because now he has a hangout after every home game, especially if they win in this kind of fashion. They're like, let's just go to my spot, you know? The security is going to be great. We're always going to have a table. But yeah, smiles from everybody. This is what we know from the Chiefs. This is what they're always like every Sunday.
So, Mojo, bigger storyline. Patrick Mahomes' wacky play, Rashee Rice getting 10 targets and 2 touchdowns in his return, or Travis Kelce having another beautiful date night with Taylor Swift? What are you? It's the bigger one.
I think I'm going to say it's Travis Kelce in the steakhouse. I actually heard he's been salt baying people's steaks after the games. They had an extra $1,000 onto the tab for Travis Kelce to come around and sprinkle salt down his forearm. Not showering after the game, so you get the salt, you know, for your steak, and then the salts from his sweat from the game, and that's why it's $1,000, and they're absolutely killing it. Of course, I'm making all of that up right there, guys. I got to take it back to this play. I love this play so much. As you know, I played defensive line when I played football. Every single practice, we would do some sort of variation to defend this, where somebody is screaming in your face, saying whatever they possibly can to make you jump, make you laugh, break your focus, and make you make a mistake to get you to either jump off sides or be caught off guard when that ball is snapped. So you gotta be ready. And I'm not saying this play worked because the Raiders' defensive line was caught off guard. I mean, I don't believe I saw anyone go down to a knee and lose their focus or anything, but you never know. I mean, sometimes it helps. So you got to be ready for that. But I also got to ask, if you're the Chiefs, why do you waste this play on the Raiders, right? Like, I mean, one, you blew them out. Of course, you weren't winning that big at that time. But, I mean, if it's me, I'm going to save my good stuff for the better teams, not someone I know I'm going to beat no matter how slow of a start we're having to the season. But that's just my thoughts. I don't know about that one. Made me laugh either way.
Yeah. So shout out to those fantasy owners that were very patient with Rashee Rice. I mean, like you said, Ed, 7 catches, 42 yards,
In
2 touchdowns.
PPR, that's what, 23 points?
Yeah.
In the first game back, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Mojo, I don't know if you saw this, but the Cowboys kind of did a little bit of a version of this. I think it was against the Giants, maybe. Week 1 or week 2, Dak kind of did a similar thing, but this is
I don't think anyone watches the Cowboys.
Mojo, by the way, you say
I didn't
save this
see
for
no one else did either.
Hold on.
save this for a better team, Mojo.
We talked about this last week. We were talking about the tush push. Remember, the Vikings stopped it.
Not
the tush
really,
push.
no,
they really did. They have a formula to stop the tush push.
They didn't stop it. They only stopped it because they got a penalty. The Eagles jumped off.
That's the way to
which,
stop
by the way,
I like
they
they're getting
continue to
creative
false
with it,
start.
though.
Yeah,
Finally,
they did.
someone's
Win.
thinking outside the box here.
Yeah.
A win's a win.
If they could just get the refs to officiate it, it'd be perfect, you know?
Dude, they laid down.
It didn't work though. He
guard.
went over top and he got the first down. The only reason it didn't work because they got the penalty.
Well, yeah,
think
he just
that's
like
the way to
lined
do
up
it.
like to the side.
Yeah, they had a procedural penalty on the next time they were.
Mojo, you said save that for a better team. I mean, the Chiefs were 500, before this win. Like,
Yeah, in a divisional game, you never know what's going to happen too, you know?
I don't
Raiders
know.
are bad.
Like, are the Chiefs that much better than the Raiders?
Didn't
I'm
They
still
looked-
not
they looked-
concerned
the
if I'm
Raiders
Chiefs.
pretty good.
Do you remember last year they were in Arrowhead on Thanksgiving, or maybe it was the day after Thanksgiving, and the Chiefs almost lost that game, if I remember right. Maybe they did
The
lose
Chiefs
that
did
game.
lose.
Yeah.
Max Crosby was inhaling cigar smoke.
And then they lost the year before that too, I believe. The one that kicked off their Super Bowl run. I mean, they lose to the Raiders all the time at Arrowhead. Like, I'm sure they were like, we got to do some crazy stuff to beat them. So.
Well, 2 words. Our favorite fan of the channel commented saying that his theory is that Taylor will be shown less and less, and Bad Bunny will begin to get shown a lot more for whatever he's doing leading up to the Super Bowl.
What games are Bad Bunny going to?
Yeah.
I don't even. He didn't necessarily mention games, but just any events.
Oh.
But it is odd that.
That's a good point. If you're Bad Bunny's team, do you start sending him to games ahead of time, or you keep him out until Super Bowl, for scarcity? Or I wonder how he's going to do that.
We saw him at the
I do
Yankees
wonder
game.
how they deal with that, because it would make sense for him to go to a football game before.
His
But
team's going to be
I
asking, do
honestly
you guys play
think-
God Bless America at these games?
oh my, yeah,
They
that's a good
stopped
point.
showing her because she was kind of a distraction to what was going on. They have a losing record for a minute. They're trying to bounce back, and they got to focus on that. Like, I think that's what it is.
I'm on that side of it as well. I think that they needed to kind of bounce back, and I mean now they looked really good. I mean, granted the Raiders are not a great team, but they looked really good yesterday.
At the same time, like, Josh Allen is married to a superstar.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld. How many times have you seen her on TV?
Hardly.
If you request
A
to
little
not be
bit
shown,
different.
I suppose if
if you request to not be shown, they'll grant you
It's
that.
the drastic difference, though. Like, Haley has always wanted to be in the shadows, and Taylor didn't appear to always want to be in the shadows, and now she wants to be in the shadows. I think that's.
But if
even
you
like the
think
small
about it,
things.
Well, she's also a way bigger name, and there's financial implications involved here. That's the swing. Is you bring those Swifties on board, that's millions and millions and millions of dollars added to NFL revenue. I don't think Haley has that same effect.
No, I mean, no one does. There is not another potential actor or musician that has that kind of star power. She
There's very
is
few
in
people
a
just in the world generally that have that.
world of her own. That's
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, they didn't seem to look very distracted yesterday. They seem to be right on track. I think it would be silly to count the Chiefs out after the start they've had to the year. I mean, they're.
you never
can't
can.
count 'em
You
out.
never can.
I
even
think
if
they're the best team in the AFC now.
I don't disagree with that.
Like, now that they're all healthy again, and God, that loss to Jaguars is so weird. But outside of that, they've looked great. Now
Well, I mean,
Rashee Rice is
Colts.
back.
The Colts are.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I don't know how
They
much I
will
trust
be in
Daniel
the
Jones and like
postseason.
Arrowhead and.
see, this is the
In the
thing that I
middle
think
of-
what
That's so
happened with
hard.
Sam
January.
Darnold last year is
I
that
agree.
it took 14 weeks for somebody to be like, okay, he's actually pretty good.
Right.
And it's like I think he's like good. I don't think he's blowing. He's not going to win the MVP or do anything like that. But he's good. Like, he's a good player.
Yeah.
And that team is a lot more stacked than people, I think, know. So, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is having an insane year.
Incredible year.
I think that the thing with the Chiefs is so many people were ready to end the dynasty, end the madness, the Taylor Swift, all that. They were just ready to move on and didn't remember that this is still Patrick Mahomes. This is still Andy Reid. This is still, they weren't 100%.
I mean, the problem is the AFC is so comically bad.
Before this past weekend, we were all scratching our heads being like, who's coming out of the AFC? The Ravens
people
have...
point to the Bills, and it's like, man, I can't win a game
you can't
anymore.
trust the Bills after the last few games.
The Falcons put up 10 points against a Fred Warner and Joey Bosa-less team, and they almost put up 28 on the Bills in the one half last week. So, like you said, the Ravens are bad. The Bills don't look like that good. The Patriots.
I mean, the two best teams are the Patriots and the Colts right now.
Yeah, and the Colts I like,
Colts.
but man, you got Daniel Jones as your quarterback.
The
5 years in New York, he can do a thing.
It's an improvement team. That's what they are.
I think in a normal AFC, if you have Lamar and Burrow and Herbert's team is all healthy, maybe you don't think the Chiefs are who they are. But man, I don't see a team in the AFC that's better than them at this point.
I mean, the Chargers, people, the Chargers started off super hot, then the last few weeks
everybody. They're injured. They're injured everywhere.
Yeah, their offensive line is in shambles.
Like 60% of their O-line's gone.
Yeah.
Their two starting running backs are gone. Like it's endless.
Yeah, their defense has been. It started out really good, and I mean, they haven't lost as many people on that side of the ball, but it's regressed quite a bit.
I mean,
in the
it's
last
hard
few weeks.
when your offense is on the field all the time.
On paper, the only team you can see beating the Chiefs is the Bills. On paper.
Right.
On paper.
What we're saying is they're not that good.
Their offense is stuttering really bad. Like, I mean, they need a receiver.
And they can't stop the run on defense.
Yeah. Bills are. Who would you take in a matchup of the Bills or Colts?
Right now?
If they were to play
Oh, the Colts.
Like if they were playing this weekend?
Like they were playing this week.
Yeah.
But what about end of the season? Who do you think
in
is
a
going to
wild
end?
card game, I'd probably take Buffalo.
Okay.
Because I just think Josh would turn it
BS
on.
Smokey is saying he hates the Bills, but he's rooting for them to beat KC, and he's a Dolphins fan. So I mean, that's kind of I think all of us. But KC now I don't think is as hated.
Oh, who's a Dolphins fan?
Yeah. So BS Smokey, that's a. He's a big Cleveland guy. So
sorry
for his second win or third win of
just let us have
the last
this one.
year. He's pretty stoked about it.
All right, speaking of Cleveland, are you ready to talk about former Cavs? Also, I'm not going to give this away. You'll know the answer, but I won't say who. But we're going to do LeBron here, and then we were supposed to talk to tomorrow a former teammate of his who won a title with him, also won a gold medal with him. It was postponed, but we'll leave it there. So we don't want to give it away.
What?
Yeah,
So we're not doing it tomorrow?
I'll tell you offline why.
Okay.
But everything's okay.
Everything's okay? We're still doing it?
We'll do, another day though.
Steve, you just got real quiet on me. Did that happen with anyone else?
No. Two Miami fans. Maybe it's whack. Sad to see.
Lucas, are you going to welcome back here and tee up Edward again on LeBron?
Welcome back?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. Is he counting down?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Your thing fell off.
Oh.
There.
Can you talk?
He didn't have you, Steve. Did you unplug from your back? I do, yeah.
I can hear you if everyone is quiet. Yeah?
I hear you, Steve.
Yeah?
Steve, I hear you.
It's welcome back. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Lucas here. Remember that fan who filed a lawsuit against LeBron James because that second decision didn't really actually end up being a decision? Well, he has filed to dismiss the whole thing, but he still might end out on top. Ed, what are we talking about here?
So Andrew Garcia, we reported this just a couple weeks ago, filed a small claims lawsuit against LeBron James for $865.66 after he says he was basically duped by LeBron James's second decision. He thought that LeBron was announcing a retirement. Turns out he announced Hennessy. When he went to buy tickets thinking that it was a retirement, possibly he bought them for $400-ish a piece. And then when the retirement announcement didn't happen, they dropped down significantly in value. So he said LeBron owed him money. Well, Garcia had planned on going forward with this lawsuit. He actually texted me several times saying, I'm not moving from this, until Sunday, when he says the daily fantasy app called Prize Picks reached out to him and basically gave him an offer that he felt made him whole. Now, I want to say this was not on behalf of LeBron or anything. Prize Picks just merely reached out to him and said, hey, like, we saw you were troubled and we'd like to give you an offer. I was told this offer included some money, the $865.66 that he could use on Prize Picks, some merch, some Lakers merch, and tickets to a Lakers game of his choosing. So Andrew texted me this morning. He said, I didn't want to kind of double dip on this. I didn't want to kind of take LeBron's money and the Prize Picks money. So he said he went and filed the dismissal. And so now the case is over. LeBron will not have to go to small claims to defend himself against Andrew Garcia.
You know, everyone thought this Andrew guy was silly, was chasing clout, blah, blah, blah. But look, it was actually pretty smart. And smart marketing on Prize Picks aside, if that happens to be the case as well.
There he is.
Mojo, as a very smart man, we got to ask you, was this the right move by him, or should he have gone through with going up against LeBron, or do you just take what you can get and run?
Well, I think the real winner here, guys, is LeBron James. I mean, word has it that him and his legal team were terrified over what might happen with this case. I mean, this could have ended him and really forced him into an actual retirement because of how badly this could have gone for him. I don't know what to think about this one. I mean, he obviously knew he wasn't going to get anything from LeBron, right? But, you know, a brand reached out and saw a cool marketing opportunity here and jumped in and made the guy whole. I mean, that's the part that makes me laugh the most, I think, in all this, is he needed someone to make him whole. If he would have been listening to our show, I said from the start this was going to be some tacky brand deal. I know one when I see one, man, and I could smell this one coming a mile away. I am curious to see what the deal was for. Maybe it was some bonus picks, you know, what the allocation was, like how much of that versus cash. But either way, I don't know. The whole thing's just kind of funny. Of course, the thing was going to end this way, you know?
Hey, if he plays his cards right, that money could turn into a lot more if he's good with his bets.
Maybe an extra couple $100, man. You never know.
If it were me, though, that would be gone in one weekend on some stupid parlays that one leg.
Don't worry about
hits.
it. I just pause it.
And yeah, I would be left with no tickets and no money.
Or maybe you would have hit a 16-leg parlay and you'd have like 200 grand. You never know.
That's true. Yeah, it was brilliant by this guy, though, man. Like, how many of us have been kind of screwed over on that kind of thing before, and you just kind of eat it? But for him to go through all this trouble, man, it really paid off for him.
Get the PR for all the, you know.
He gets free Lakers tickets, free Lakers merch. He gets, you know, some clout, some 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Maybe you take those bonus bets and you put it on Micah Parsons to put up sacks, and then now you're just talking about
then
easy
one out of every
guaranteed
6
money.
games you might get something, you know. But the other 5, you're probably not gonna get much. Maybe like 4 tackles, you know. But yeah, who knows?
We got asked, who do you, I mean, obviously basketball talk, football talk, but there's baseball tonight, Game 7, best 2 words in sports. Who do you guys take in
Who's
tonight? Toronto versus
Oh, it's like Bieber and
Mariners.
it's Bieber and who? Is it Kirby?
I think so. It's going to be,
Bieber and Kirby.
Don't ever go up against our friend Shane Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber's cousin. I got it.
So Shane Bieber, this was during the pandemic, I believe. He was doing cameos on the, you know, request.
This was
app
before
for
Shane
video.
Bieber was Shane Bieber. He hadn't won his Cy Young yet. He was kind of just not Justin, you know.
that was his claim to fame at the time.
Yeah.
He was not Justin, and he had
Just
the
decent
jersey
picture on
that he
the-
wore
on the-
during that
on the
Players
then
Weekend,
Indians.
and then Bieber, actual Bieber, got his own and was wearing it around, and you know, it was a funny little TMZ storyline. So when my birthday came around, my buddies in the office got me a cameo from Shane Bieber. It was filled with inside jokes, and he like wished my hamster well and all these different things. But it was the coolest thing. Like, they gave him like a 30-word prompt, okay? And he went on for like 5 minutes just talking and being like, sounds like you got a real tight-knit group of friends.
Yeah. Real handsome guy too, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I probably lean towards the Blue Jays now. Kirby really got rocked in that first game, and Beaver
USA
didn't.
versus Canada. That's what's going to be the World Series.
I would pull for the Mariners, though. I'd much rather
Yeah, I
see
want the
Cal
Mariners.
Raleigh and that team.
I actually found out last night. I was watching the game with one of my friends who's from Seattle, and she just moved out of her house. And she said that the person who now lives in their house is Cal Raleigh.
Oh,
Yeah, so
small world.
yeah, so her family met him and everything, and it was pretty cool.
He
So,
seems
Who you got,
almost
Mojo?
down to earth guy.
yeah, they said
Toronto
it's really,
or Seattle?
I'm going to take opposite Ed because that's what I do. And he's typically wrong, so
I'm not
makes it easy
saying
for me.
I want the Mariners to win. I just think that the Blue Jays will. So
yeah. I'm
either
rooting
way,
for the Mariners. but-
Either way, whichever team wins, just put them in front of the train, man. The Dodgers are unbelievable, and now they have a closer with Sasaki. There is no hole. Like the Ohtani used to be kind of not great in playoffs, and now that's all gone. Like, good luck.
Do you
Yeah,
think?
their pitching was the only thing.
Good luck.
That-
Their bullpen was it. Now they don't even need the bullpen because their starters go 8 innings.
Yeah,
Let's
2
just
words.
try
They
to
definitely
just
have
be
a lot of
repeat.
weapons.
Danny, can you call Babcock?
Yeah.
And
I
ask
mean,
him
I
about
think
that
I think it's
Ohtani ball story?
just who's going to be in the way for the Dodgers
Right,
to kind
right.
of.
He sent a slash
clean up.
earlier.
Whoever wins this gets
Yeah,
second
can you
place.
call him and just see if there's any detail?
Somebody asked, do you think it's going to affect the Dodgers in a positive or a negative way? The fact that they're going to have all this rest now that this game has gone to Game 7.
Yeah, Steve and I were talking about that a little bit. I don't see how in any way it hurts the Dodgers. I know, like, when you're hot, you want to stay hot, but man, to get another 5 days of rest for Snell, Glasnow,
But it
Yamamoto, and
does
Ohtani.
affect your momentum. It does.
I always worry about rest, man. You're
Yeah.
right. That momentum being red hot, you got too much time to sit at home and
Exactly.
think and
But
all
it's
of these
pitching.
things. I
Yeah,
always
it is the
worry about.
pitching
I hate
rest.
bye
I
weeks
want
for that
my
reason.
arm to be rested. Now, all these
Yeah,
dudes,
but
like
there's
Beaver's got to go
nothing
throw
like
again.
being
like-
in game mode, Edward.
I agree with you, but man, if my pitchers are rested, I mean, I only need one run then. Just Shohei Dinger, he wins me the game, you know. So I wouldn't worry about that. Plus, man, that's
Speaking of,
still loaded.
takes us into
Yeah, I'm not worried either way if I'm the Dodgers
Yeah.
rest or not.
Right,
No,
they're fine.
yeah. I mean, I think they'll ultimately it's going to be good for their pitching, but you do worry. I think the bats is the bigger thing for rest.
Right, but
See if that's
who
the
needs
solver.
the bats when you have, like I said, Glasnow, Yamamoto,
All right,
Snell,
well, speaking
Ohtani.
of Shohei,
Speaking of Shohei.
we're going to use Shohei and the Dodgers celebrating to get into the TMZ After Dark tour.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
So Ed will come in with
Yeah.
it's them in the locker room celebrating,
Okay.
and then you can react to all of that, and then Lucas, you'll eventually take it to do the Monster Energy TMZ. on
if you want to
After
do
Dark.
just the Dodgers stuff and then be like, but it seems like the vibes were going into
Yeah.
Saturday night too.
Yeah, right in LA. Yeah. Yeah, and then you bring that up. Okay. And then, are we coming in with sound here, or am I?
Yeah, sound coming in is locker room.
Okay.
Them celebrating champagne, Dave Roberts speaking.
And any welcome back when we come out?
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
welcome back. Okay.
And then Lucas will do the promo.
Cool. Sounds good.
Sound.
All right, guys. Hey, first off, we got to raise a glass to Shohei. He's a freak. He's the MVP, and he put on a performance that I don't think there's any better performance in postseason history. So, Shohei, congratulations. Well done. We talked about the focus. Winning this World Series the most important thing for each one of us and our families. It started in spring training. It's going to end with 4 more wins. Keep the edge. Let's stay on the hunt, guys.
That was Dave Roberts and the Dodgers celebrating their big NLCS victory. And boy, did they celebrate it, and boy, did they have reason to. Shohei Ohtani, Dave said a little bit in that clip, it was probably the greatest baseball game anyone has ever played. He had 10 strikeouts as a pitcher and 3 home runs as a hitter as the Dodgers swept the Brewers in 4 games. The party, the vibes were incredible. It was all happening on Friday night. But Lucas, they seem to roll a little bit into Saturday night, still sticking in Los Angeles too, right?
Yes, Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers were not the only ones partying in LA this weekend because Grant Ellis, the Bachelor himself, He joined the TMZ After Dark tour, and that was fueled by Monster Energy. Grant Ellis hosted the tour, and he had rose in his hand and everything, but he wasn't just there to host. He was ripping shots. He even got on the bull at Saddle Ranch. They went to all the bars. It was lit. Everyone was having a fantastic time. Looked like a lot of fun. Maybe next time I'll get an invite, but go to monsterenergy.com to see what they have going on there. And of course, check out tmztour.com to learn about how you can get in on the fun as well.
Great.
Yeah, you know me, I don't get invites to Saddle Ranch.
Oh, yeah. What? What?
What happened?
Yanks,
Oh, they
Sox,
did?
and Dodgers always going to win, Sean. Yeah, I mean it is interesting the how like the salary cap stuff works right now, especially like you said in the players era. Yeah, small market teams can make it to the World Series. Obviously, if they get hot, you know, I mean, and some can win. I mean, I would say that I'm a Nationals fan, and in 2019 we won, and that was, you know, a small market team. We did spend a lot of money though. Some of these small market teams just don't spend a lot. Like the Mariners, you know, they have a MVP candidate, but the rest of the team doesn't have a ton of money behind it, especially the pitching. But the Dodgers are just going to be able to recruit all these international players, you know, that, you know, make this big difference for when it comes October. So, the Dodgers are unbelievable, and I'm a Mets fan, Joey. Yeah, the Dodgers are crazy. I mean, their payroll, you know, I'm never going to be that guy that blames anything on the payroll, but I mean, they do spend a lot of money on a lot of really great players. So, and some other teams do spend a lot of money, like the Yankees, on, you know, maybe players that aren't as good at times. So, the Yankees won't win anything under Boone and Cashman. I mean, they have won. I mean, they haven't won it all. I mean, they were just in the World Series a year ago. Yeah, it's like I mean. It's not like they're a bad team at all. They were literally in the World Series, and, you know, I mean, granted they got messed up, but
I was gonna say this. To be honest with you, between Toronto and the Seattle, whoever wins, they honestly will have the advantage going into the next game for the simple fact they'll be in game mode. The Dodgers been sitting. It kind of will remind me, remember when the Lakers played the 76ers when Allen Iverson came in, they stole game one? Not saying they can win the World Series, but I'm saying they can at least go in there and steal game one.
use that
It's
momentum.
just a few days, you know, it's not
I
like
mean,
it's like
it'll be a big thing if the Mariners win, especially tonight, to go down and play in, because it'd be in LA, like to go and, you know, West Coast already, you know, West Coast team, kind of like have that similar feel. I feel like, as opposed to going up and playing in Toronto. I think they have a great, like, just as good a shot as anybody to win, like you said, that first game. That makes sense to me. The Nationals are not a small market team. I mean, yeah, kind of are. I mean, we're not you know, to that level of some of like the notoriously small market teams, but I mean, we've been around for 20 something years, and now our payroll is nothing. NBA is back this week. Yes, it is. The sports equinox is this weekend. So that is always something to look forward to. That'll be something that will be a lot of fun to talk about on Monday.
Lakers and Golden State open up, right?
Yeah. Who do you have in that game?
Oh, man, it's purple and gold to the grave. Oh, I'm going with the Lakers.
The Lakers could be going up against the Monstars, and Keith would say Lakers.
Purple and gold to the grave.
I mean, Braun's out till what, November now? Middle of November?
Yep. We still winning. We got Luka.
Yeah, you got Luka and
We got Luke.
and DeAndre Ayton's corpse running the center.
Austin Reeves.
That's right.
Austin Reeves, yep.
How do we feel about Bronny going into year two? Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to put up 2 points?
Maybe.
You
No,
tell
you
us,
know,
expert.
I still cannot hear anything in my ear.
Lucas, who that means?
Senior, yeah, it is the 8th largest market in the country, but I'm talking just in terms of right now, the fan base, how much money they're investing into the team.
Yes.
Nobody's watching a Nationals game pretty much any day of the week.
The battery's all
and
the
that's
way
been
up.
the case since 2019. But yes, I do understand what you're saying. Like Pittsburgh, small market, you know, in terms of payroll and such. But I'm more so focusing on the payroll.
I'll turn it back on.
Oh, my computer's.
Okay.
You guys got it?
The earwax? I checked it.
Is it almost time for my head-to-head with Ed? Head-to-head with Ed. That's a segment right there, Steve.
Head to Ed. Well, I would read more of your guys' comments, but my computer unfortunately
That's not on camera, is it?
froze.
Nope.
But
I'm gonna need a new graphic now that I have this.
also,
longer,
Thunder
beautiful
Rockets
hair.
are playing. Yeah, Thunder Rockets is going to be a great game. I mean, I think KD just with that last contract or extension he signed is now the highest paid NBA player of all time.
I gotta see. He gotta do something this year, man. KD's kind of falling off a little bit.
I mean, he just doesn't play like it's. I mean, he's still a bucket, but
It's wild the way his career took a turn when he joined the Warriors.
1 second,
Like to
guys.
me, everything after that was just whatever he
Senior,
does is irrelevant.
exactly. Senior softball, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's similar in the sense where it's like, yes, it is the 10th largest market, but is small market in the sense that nobody is going to these games. Lakers 14 games on the road.
Where's Ed at?
I'm right here. I'm writing this update to this Cam Jones story for those that are familiar with it. This Indiana Pacers player
Mojo's Party Pod can get sponsored by Monster.
got arrested this morning.
Well,
Ed, you're just brushing up on your notes for the showdown. Stop lying like you're
I don't
doing
need
some
notes,
work.
you know, like
You hit up your whole team of writers, and you guys were working on something for the duel today.
not all of us have to brag about being the Kyler Murray-less Cardinals. You know what I mean? Like,
You're the Cowboys.
what about it?
You got to brag about any win you can get, pal.
They're 3-3 and look great. You know?
I'll get some
any
comments.
word on trades with the Knicks, Joey Hernandez? No. So far, it looks like that team that they made a pretty deep playoff run with last year is going to be the same one they go into with this year. Trivia time: is Phoenix more or less than the 15th largest market for the MLB? So the Arizona, I'm assuming you're talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks, or are you talking about the Phoenix Suns, senior? But if it's the Diamondbacks, I would say they're probably a pretty small market. Definitely less than 15th largest.
Are you going through the chat right now?
Yeah.
Chat's popping, man.
Chat is popping. Kevin Murray, welcome back. Good to see you.
Does the chat want to hear about my weekend?
Guys, chat, do you want to hear about Lucas's weekend? Because I know I do.
So, Saturday,
Okay.
I decided I'm going to bake something, a little fall treat recipe. I'm a baker. I like to bake. I like to cook. Chef Wid.
Chef Wid.
I decided to go with some chocolate pecan truffles.
Okay.
A little test run for Friendsgiving.
Okay.
You gotta come prepared, so
Absolutely.
I brought something. That is going to be my go-to this year. Super easy, no bake. You have to freeze and refrigerate, but that's it. So those were a 5 out of 5. And then Sunday morning, I'd said, okay, well, if the Browns let me down again, I'm gonna have something to fall back on. So I put a crock pot meal in that was going to take about 9 hours.
Oh.
So before kickoff, I did some red wine braised short rib.
Ooh.
Look at you.
Chef
Yeah,
Wid.
9 hours later, fantastic. I don't like to toot my own horn too much, but those were so good. And Jim, my roommate, agreed. He was like, that was good. With some mashed potatoes, with some Yukon Gold potatoes.
Oh.
Are you a foodie, Lucas?
Dude, so I grew up, like, I don't want to say anything, but
Do your horn a little bit.
the seasonings cabinet in my household growing up was not crowded.
Robust.
And as time has gone on, I've learned to do different recipes and try new things and stuff, and it has been quite fun to try new things and see what's good, see what's not. And I enjoy to make it myself. I don't necessarily go out to restaurants and find the best spots. I usually go out for dinner and I like it, and then I go there 30 times in a year instead of going to different places. So people are like, what's good around here? And I'll say one thing and they're like, okay, what else? I'm like, well, that's it.
Yeah, you stick to what I mean, I think that's the case for a lot of people is, kind of stick to what you know a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad was or I guess still is technically, but was a chef when I was growing up.
Oh, shoot.
And so, but the thing is, I realized, but at that time, you know, like when you're a little kid and you're just like playing sports and stuff, and everybody's going to the McDonald's after the game or whatever, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. My dad, I don't think I had McDonald's till I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, wow.
So, and then you know, once you kind of have, you know, a little bit of freedom, you're not like, you know, staying at home as much for like lunch and dinner and stuff. And then I go to college and I learned that I should have appreciated all the like home cooked like good meals and stuff that he would cook for me on a regular basis. And now I finally have kind of started getting back into the cooking aspect. So that's kind of cool to hear that you're into that as well.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's hit or miss sometimes, you know, but it's part of the experience.
Kevin Murray, I think, yeah. I mean, why eat out when you can cook at home? I mean, if you know, I think it's more of a time thing than it is a desire to do it or not, because I always have a ton of fun cooking, and it's like a nice little thing. I throw on a podcast or something or some music in my kitchen and just, you know, go to town. But, you know, you don't always have the 2 hours that it takes to, you know, like the 8 hours to wait around for something like when you're cooking. So that's kind of the differentiating factor, I feel like, for me. But
yeah, a lot of planning.
You got me again, Lucas?
Yeah.
All right, you ready to do Isaiah Rogers?
Yes.
Lucas, do you want to do Isaiah with Mojo, and then Edward will do Micah with Mojo?
Perfect. Cool.
Whoa.
hey, Ryan, can I go run to go take a picture real quick in that? Like.
Yeah. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Lucas here. Miami Vikings. Miami Vikings. I don't know where that came from. Sorry. Just start it, or do you count me down again? Okay. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Lucas here. The Minnesota Vikings lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in a close one on Sunday, and there was one fan who was so upset, they directly messaged Vikings cornerback Isaiah Rogers with some of the most disgusting things that one could possibly say. Well, Isaiah decided, you know what, I've had enough of this. And he took to social media on his own on Sunday and exposed the user for some of the worst things. Laid it all out there, put it up, and the full exchange was on there on his Instagram page. I'm not even going to say anything that is on there, but you can tell by the black bars. Awful stuff. Now, Isaiah did respond by giving a two-word response to the fan directly, and as the fan tried to backtrack a bit, delete messages, and you know, admit that they were wrong, Isaiah said, look, this is too late, but he also followed up with a message that he just wanted to warn fans, look, racism is real. Keep football. That's not even the worst that I've seen. Stay solid or stay silent. And then he did an acronym for fans. Fake applause, no support, or he said it could also mean faithful and never switching. Pick a side and stay on it. So, Mojo, I know this is a sport that people are really passionate about and everything, but this is a perfect example of people just taking it way too far.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I gotta agree with Isaiah here. That is probably not at all the worst that he's ever gotten. I mean, I hate to even say it like this, but that didn't even look bad compared to some of the things that I've seen, some of the things that I've personally received from as early as my days at the University of Maryland. The second you start playing on TV and, you know, having a legitimate fan base, people will come after you. Or if you're playing teams with legitimate fan bases, the other fans will come after you. I mean, you just are always opened up to a line of criticism, and there's very little that you can do about it. Except what Isaiah did here. I mean, when you've had enough, you can sound off about it. You can, you know, kind of bring some attention to this. You can set your team and your organization after those people, especially if it's starting to, you know, become an issue for your personal safety, for that of you and your family. Every organization has someone that you can reach out to help handle these things for you. And, you know, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So, yeah, I mean, look, this is part of the game, unfortunately. I don't know if I ever see that this is going to change. I'm glad that it's not getting the better of him and weighing too much on his mind, that he was able to use these people to kind of laugh it off and, you know, use them as a prop for a message that he was trying to pass along on his own personal channels. Otherwise, you know, you're trained not to give these people a voice. Why would you when they're, you know, essentially a nobody trying to bury you, come at you, end you, all of these things, you know, leave them in the darkness where they belong. So again, I've seen worse, but that never excuses the behavior at all.
Right, Mojo, and Isaiah Rodgers, here's a guy that has had a great season so far, but one play he gives up a 79-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith, and all of a sudden that doesn't matter anymore. Fans, they such short memory, and this is a perfect example of just taking it way too far.
I'm a big fan of Isaiah Rodgers. He played on the Eagles for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He was good. You know, he has a ring, so for whoever that guy is
that always counts.
Yep. That guy's a bozo, but
Yeah.
ask that fan how much is his contract. Well, I mean, everybody's going to talk crazy online until you see this happen all the time where somebody like starts to, you know, talk crazy to a player or whatever through the DMs, and they say something back, and they're like, "Oh, my bad, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I was just, you know, trying to like get your attention or something." It's always how it goes.
Yep.
You know, I used to do that when I'd have wrestling fans come after me. I would just like their tweet, and just liking their tweet, you know, I was kind of just making a joke of it. People would totally flip their script and be like, you know what, I was wrong about Mojo. He's got a great sense of humor, and maybe I like him after all. It's just, you give them a little bit, and some of these people, man, it's just that total 180 right away. It's crazy.
I mean, some of the stuff that in that Instagram DM that we, you know, had to blur out and stuff was pretty heinous. Like, and it's crazy to think that's one thing that probably of however many thousands of DMs that he got for that game, and that happens. You know, it's like not everybody posts it on their Instagram story, but that happens to every player. You know, I'm sure
Dude, some of these people do their research too. They look up like where you came from and your family members and traumatic things that happened to you and, you know, previous lives, and they use that against you. I mean, they get really disgusting with it, man. It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, you know, on a scale that I'm sure none of us could really ever. I mean, in Mojo, probably you might be able to understand kind of like what that's like, but compared to the average Joe has no idea what it's like to get that many comments, that many things, and, you know, still be able to keep up your mental. And it happens to all the players, not just like an Isaiah Rodgers. I'm sure A.J. Brown the first 3 weeks of the season, you know, on the Eagles was getting hate comments because he wasn't catching the ball or getting enough targets or whatever.
Yeah, that's when it gets tough, is if you are having a bad stretch and you know you're making these mistakes and you're not playing, you know, up to par, and you feel like you're letting the team down, the franchise, the fans down, and then you're getting all that stuff all day, every day. It can be a lot for sure.
Absolutely. And I mean, thankfully, you know, good for him. Isaiah Rodgers had, I mean, one of the best games at the cornerback position ever, like a few weeks ago. So, I mean, he'll be just fine. He's having a great year. You're playing a tough team. 2 words. What do I think about the Eagles being the most likely team in the NFC East to win? Because they've got experience and they're the most balanced. I think we are balanced. I mean, Jalen Hurts had a perfect passer rating and he's the first quarterback to do that this year. I mean, there's a lot of answers. Our defense isn't very good. Definitely nowhere near as good as last year. Perhaps if the Cowboys grab the wild card, Dallas can knock off Philly. I mean, easily.
They're going to destroy them in Dallas in a few weeks. That's going to be a bloodbath.
So I don't necessarily agree with
Who's going to destroy who, Ed?
The Cowboys are going to
Cowboys going to destroy Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys going to put a bet on it? Let's make it interesting for the show.
Well, I mean, you know, it seems to be everyone likes betting on the big dogs. You know, everyone likes betting against the champion. So I understand, but
yeah, we'll put a bet on it.
Maybe let the chat start coming up with some good ideas for the bet.
That's a great idea. Yes, chat.
Give them a homework assignment.
Chat. 2 words: Kevin, Dawn, Angie, softball, all of our regulars. Whatever of the comments that you guys leave for a potential bet between me and Ed will discuss, and one of those comments we will use as the punishment for that game.
Make them brutal, guys.
Luka's
really
too
embarrassing.
brutal.
Not too bad. You know, like along the line of, you know, like me wearing that stupid hat every Thursday for the next month.
No, that's boring. Everybody always does that. Get original with it, please, guys. Originality is key.
You 0-1, bro.
Yeah, I am 0-1, but, you know, next Thursday, when Babcock comes back, actually this Thursday, not this Thursday, next Sunday when the Giants play the Eagles once more, we will see how that script flips. When do we play, Ed?
I think it's Christmas, or not Christmas, sometime
December, right?
December, yeah. I want to say it's the week before Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, it'll be an early Christmas for Philadelphia when we crank the Cowboys in Dallas.
Good luck, buddy.
Speaking of Cowboys, Edward and Mojo, you ready to talk about a former Cowboy?
Yeah.
So, Ed, I'm just going to come in with Micah after the game, talking about his first career 3 sacks.
Okay.
And then you'll bring in Mojo. You guys can have some fun. Say goodbye at the end of this.
Senior, I don't think we're going to be getting tattoos for this bet, but
Oh, God, no.
But that is
Regular season.
That's a bit.
Cowboys on a down year.
Forehead tats. How long you want here, Steve? Otherwise, we might go a while.
I would say within 3 minutes with a goodbye. So the
Dang,
sound.
the main event,
Yeah.
3 minutes and a
The
goodbye
main
for
event.
this. We need to shave some time off the other stuff. All right, Ed, you better get your talking points in quick. Consult your team of writers.
There ain't much talking points, you know?
I think there's levels to this game. If I get the same looks as some of these other guys, this is the result. I think, looking across the league, usually guys like me don't get those type of looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a rarity. And there's levels to this. So if I get those type of looks, I can do those same results as those other guys. They work in funny ways. It's like it just happens when it happens. When it rains, it pours. You aware that this was your first? Yeah, I was very aware. I know how many times I had to have set games. How many? I think I had like 4. I tweeted.
They did call a hold against the guy.
Yeah, in the run game, yeah. So I'm pretty decent in the run game.
That was former Dallas Cowboys superstar Micah Parsons, who's currently a Green Bay Packers superstar, gloating after beating the 2-5 Arizona Cardinals in a final second victory where Mojo finally did something after being traded to Green Bay and doing relatively nothing for the first few weeks of the season. He actually had a very dominant performance. 3 sacks, as he said on the presser there. Mojo, you and I have gone back and forth all year long about this, you being a big Green Bay Packers fan, me being a Cowboys fan. Tell me about why I should be eating crow right now because you and the Packers beat up the Kyler Murray-less Arizona Cardinals, the 2-5 Arizona Cardinals, and why this is such an important win for Micah Parsons.
First of all, a reminder at home for everybody to watch the live chat because Ed and I have been priming this segment all day in the live chat. So check us out every weekday. Guys, this is what they signed him to do. This is why you spend the money on bringing a Micah Parsons over. 3 sacks in 1 game is unbelievable. That's why you spend that money. You want to talk about results. Ed, do you really think the Packers win this game without Micah Parsons having that performance in a close game that came down to the wire? No. So Micah Parsons is resulting directly in wins. He's had a sack in almost every single game this season. He's averaging a sack every game this season when you factor in these multiple sack performances. I mean, this dude is an absolute game changer, and it's early. Take a look at what's coming up next in the schedule, namely next week. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You think the Packers aren't going to turn up the heat on their former quarterback, knowing how that relationship ended? The best is yet to come, my man. This is a franchise move, and that is why you spend franchise money. It results directly in wins, something that you and your team know very, very little about.
Perhaps if they had the $47 million that they spent on Micah and they spent that on other players around the team, they wouldn't need him to get 3 sacks against the 2-5 Cardinals to get a last-second victory.
Who
but
cares?
We could argue about this all day long. We're out of time, but as Mojo said, we are going to get after it on the stream every day. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow.
Where it'll be what, Ed?
Where it'll be...
Where Micah Parsons and his 3 sacks are gonna bring y'all the best show since today.
Look, I can't, it's obviously that, this is what he does. You're going to love this about Micah because he has these games where it's, like he said, I think he said 4 games of 2.5 sacks where he just absolutely takes over. And then you'll have these nights, like the Cowboys night, where it's like, dude, where are you? It's mind-numbingly frustrating, and it's one of the reasons why he's not a Cowboy anymore. And you'll see, you know what I mean? You'll see. When it's the playoffs and you're like, dude, we need that sack. Where's Micah? And he's in the medical tent or doing something. But you know what? Enjoy your 2-5. The win over the 2-5 Cardinals, who didn't have their starting quarterback. The fact that
you're looking at the wrong points. How many losses do the Packers have this season, Ed?
How many ties
do
they have?
You got to preserve wins. Everybody
lost to the Browns.
Look at it that way. The Packers' one loss was against the Browns.
How many people in this area have or how many teams in this area have you beaten? Not the Cowboys, not the Browns.
In what area? The
The Packers haven't beaten anybody. They're not
Octagon
good,
there? What are
dude.
you talking about?
Yeah, it's fine though. You know what? Gloat about your victory over the Cardinals, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
What are we gonna see? Are we gonna see something that the Cowboys
I'm telling
are
you,
gonna
you're
do
gonna be like, man, we
that
overpaid
blows
for this
our
guy.
mind? Mike is cooking right now.
Cooking. He has one game. Well, we'll continue.
So how many sacks does he need to average? Think about that. And we'll see you guys
Thanks for tuning in to the
tomorrow.
show.